Hey everyone, so today I'm busting out my dollar store acrylic paints to see what I can make with these. I've had these for a few years now. They've just been tucked away in a little drawer inside my desktop easel, and I thought, why not try to make something with them? I also have these little canvases that are also from the dollar store, so I figured I would use these and see what I can come up with. The first thing I want to say is I want to apologize because I forgot to switch my camera over to manual focus. So it was on autofocus, so it kind of focuses in and out throughout the video. The picture usually stays clear, but it kind of just bubbles a little bit. It kind of jiggles, so I apologize for that. What you saw me showing at the beginning and what I'm doing right now is I'm tracing the picture onto the canvas by transferring it. I kind of turned my paper into transfer paper by scribbling on the back of it with a pencil, and I used a 6B pencil just because it was nice and soft. I thought that might transfer the best, although in the past I have used just a regular HB pencil and that worked as well, but 6B is a darker lead, so I thought that might help. So I just scribbled all over the back and then put my paper down on the canvas and then retraced with a different pencil, and that pressure transfers the sketch over onto the canvas so that I don't have to redraw, because obviously the canvas is too thick for me to use something like a light box, so this method works really, really well. And so, yes, like I mentioned, I'm using some dollar store paints. I can't remember if I picked them up from Dollar Giant or Dollar Tree because all our Dollar Giants got replaced with Dollar Trees. And I don't know if they're technically the same company or not, so I don't know if they still stock these same paints because they're from a few years ago. But I don't know. I was just trying to tell you which dollar store I got them from, these specific paints, but I can't really remember. They're really nice though. I really, really like these paints because the only other acrylics I've used are these ones I got a while back. It was kind of like a forced purchase while I was in school, but I didn't even need them, but it was part of this package where you had to buy this kit with a whole bunch of stuff in it, even though I didn't need some of that stuff from my class. I don't know. It was weird. And so I tried using some of those acrylics to paint that blue butterfly on the purple flowers. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was like a year and a half ago. And it was okay, but I didn't really want to continue on with acrylics after that. And then I decided to try these dollar store ones, and I like them a lot better than those fancy artist quality ones, which is kind of funny. I like these ones because they're so liquidy, so they're easy to mix and they're easy to lay down, and there's kind of just no pressure when you're working with dollar store paints. It's like these hardly cost me any money, so I don't feel like scared to use them. You know, when you have expensive supplies, you feel like you sometimes need to be making some kind of extra good piece of art, like, oh, I can only use this on my best pieces and I'm scared that I'm going to screw it up. There's that pressure, you know? So with cheaper supplies, that pressure's gone, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to make something. And so that was really fun, and I really liked the consistency. That was great. I'm using a paper plate, by the way, just because I had that. We have some paper plates. I probably would have chosen styrofoam if I had a choice, but this is just what we had lying around, so that's what I used, and it worked fine. It worked totally fine for me, so yay. I don't want to use any of my usual palettes because acrylic paint, when it dries, it's so hard to get off surfaces, and I actually have some acrylic paint dried up in one of my palettes right now, and I'm like, well, that was stupid, so now I'm just going to use plates going forward because that's easier for me. And in terms of the girl that I'm drawing here, I just wanted something simple because what the struggle is with paint is I don't have as much control as I do with something like a multiliner or a Copic marker. Those things are very precise, and that's what I'm used to using. And so when it comes to painting, I'm like, I have no control over this. And so I wanted something simple, not too many details, just like a fun way to practice using these paints and see what they're like. That's why her hair is kind of like one chunk. Her outfit has hardly any details to it. It's just simple, and she's somewhat close up because if I did full body, she would be smaller, therefore it'd be harder to get in the details, even though I could, like, you know, it's definitely possible to add more details to a canvas this size. It's just because I'm a noob at it, I wanted to start this way. So next time I make something with these paints, I want to try going more detailed. I also want to try working on bigger canvases, like bigger than anything I've ever worked on before. I think that would be pretty fun. So maybe I'll get around to that because these are also just really fast to use. Like, that's good for YouTube videos because, you know, I really like my oil paints, but it's such a long process that it's kind of tricky when I'm trying to get out videos every week to try to get out an oil painting. And so I know you can have like multiple going on at once, but it's just kind of, I've never really found the time to get that started, to get multiple paintings started at the same time. With this, I completed this entire thing within a 4-hour live stream, although I did have the sketch already previously sketched out the night before, but I was doing a 4-hour stream and I completed the entire painting start to finish, and so that's pretty fast for me. I never get my videos filmed in 4 hours. Usually it's like 8 to 10 hours, sometimes even more if it's really detailed. And so this was pretty good. I liked it. I was like, man, I can cover so much area so quickly. Even if I had a bigger canvas, I could use bigger brushes and just lay down paint. It would be quite interesting. Also, another thing I like about paints that you can't really do with Copics is layer light colors on top of dark colors. So let's say you're like drawing a bush, you can draw just the shadows at first, then draw some dark leaves and some lighter leaves, and, you know, kind of layer it up that way. And that was kind of fun to do. I didn't do that for the whole thing. Like for the dress, I kind of laid down a mid-tone, then did shadows, then highlights. But for her hair, I laid down the darkest color, then added highlights on top. And I didn't want the shading to be too dark because I wanted the picture to maintain that pastel feel. So that's why I didn't go too dark on the shadows and didn't do too much color mixing or anything. Like it's pretty basic coloring, just because I wanted it to be cute, kind of bubblegummy, cotton candy, pastel color themes. So that is what I went with. I don't know if you can hear Midna. Hi, baby. Are you meowing at me? Oh, you want some attention? For her necklace and her belt, I used some metallic paint because I had silver and gold paint. So I was like, well, let's give her some silver. And then her face is where I started to freak out because that's where all the tiny details are. And the eyelashes and just her eyeline in general, I was like breathing heavy. I was like, oh, this is getting intense. One thing I do like about her face is that I did her upper lash line in black, and then her lower lash line is in the same color I used to outline the rest of her skin. And I like that. It's cute instead of just being black all the way around. Her mouth did turn out a little derp. Well, I mean, so is her nose, but like her mouth looks a little derpy at the end. But you know, I wanted to do an open mouth smile instead of my usual closed lips. So tried something new. It's a bit derp, but still cute, so it's okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, then there was the red paint incident. When I closed the cap on my red paint the one time, it sprayed red paint onto the picture, and you can't even fully see in the video. You just see like a few splatters, but there were more smaller ones. Like the entire bottom part of the picture was splattered. There's probably about like 8 noticeable marks or so on it, and it was a tragedy. I was like, oh my god, I just splattered red paint all over this thing. Oh, I was sad. But thankfully, because the paint is opaque, I can just cover it. The trick was that my paint on my palette had dried up already, so I had to try to color match, and so that was a bit stressful. It's like, I gotta get this color to be like the exact same, and at first I thought I mixed it too light, and it actually was too dark, so it's like really hard to tell what it's gonna look like once it's dry. And so I got it though. What I ended up doing was basically repainting an entire patch of her dress so that it would blend in instead of just coloring in the splotches. So that was my solution for that. And for her outlines, I used colors that were similar to the color of the object I was outlining. So her hair is in a dark pink, her dress is in a dark teal color, that sort of thing. That's how I went about outlining the different areas of her, just so it's a softer look, because I wanted some kind of outline, but I didn't want it to be black because that would look a little too harsh with the pastel theme. So that's why I chose to do it this way. And so, yeah, well, there's the red splotches. I kind of tried dabbing off the excess, and then it just kind of smeared them more, which I knew was going to happen, but what can you do? You gotta get that extra ink off, or paint. I don't think it's going to be up in my shop or anything like that. Well, maybe in the future, but it's not right now just because I need to get around to scanning it. I don't know if it will scan well because it's technically too big for my scanner, so I'm going to have to scan it in halves, and I don't know if, like, it won't be able to lay completely flat on the glass, so I don't know if that'll work out nicely. We'll see. If not, I'll take a picture of it. Long story short, I don't know when it's going to be in the shop. So here's the finished painting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next video.